Let's say it's 6:30 and I will bring our meeting together. First up, are there any modifications or changes to the agenda?
We are gonna add just another business. It's not really an agenda item. The trustees, we have our village IT person here that will be doing some upgrades to the network for the trustees.
John, are we gonna go over the?
Yes,
Oh, sorry.
if you want to, yes.
Okay, should that be in other business or executive?
That's up to you. I don't think it. Everything's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think just, yeah. So we'll have an executive to go over the youth council applications or applicants. John, you'll have to help me when we get down to that of what language I need to say to go into executive.
Well, yeah, just
The paragraph.
Yeah, I think you can.
just for the purpose of, yeah, we can go over it when we get there.
Okay. Okay, so it does not look like there's anybody here from the public tonight.
Nope.
Okay, so we will go on to review and approval of the minutes from October 10th.
Sandy?
Okay, on number 7 on the second page, residents have also advised that they have contacted law enforcement and different times, I presume that's supposed to be at different times, and offered their use of their driveway. And let's see, number 13, Heather Moore advised that there is a new civics teacher at EFHA, and she and John, I presume, had the opportunity, not and the opportunity?
Yep.
Those are the only two that I found.
Move we approve with the changes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Hold on, remember.
No, we ain't holding up for you.
And those
Shorthand, John, shorthand.
I am shorthanded.
Yeah, the meeting,
So,
the minutes were approved.
Eli and Heather
Eli and Sandy.
and Sandy.
And you got the 2 changes?
I got 2 changes.
Okay.
Give me one more second. I'm trying to figure. I can't record now.
You're fine.
I'm not. It's because I'm not the person that.
Because you're not the admin or something?
Right. Because I was using Abby so that other folks can see it. It's not usually we can get it from these
I'm
folks.
gonna say we
Yeah,
get it
I
up
think
YouTube.
we're being recorded, so.
Okay, we're good.
Okay,
Okay, let's keep
awesome.
moving.
Item number 4, American Legion Veterans Day Park use request.
It's like the same as in the past.
Doesn't look like anything had changed. It's only gonna be 30 minutes long, and gonna have a speaker and a firing squad.
I move we accept waiving the fee.
I second that.
Is there a second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It was Eli, Sandy, and it's unanimous. We're not gonna have an agenda by the time, we're just gonna have to stay there twiddling our thumbs, waiting for our.
Ken's already here.
Oh,
Right,
This
this
was
was,
here,
he's,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Up next is 473 Pearl
No, that's his
Street water and wastewater requests.
That was his meme.
I forgot this one.
Yeah, that's his mom's mom.
I talked to Jason Doe. He advised he could come tonight if he needed or felt he needed to. But Gary, as you can see through the application, Gary approves. There's no issues. Both Brian and Gary for the allocations. We just made sure Jason was aware of the number and the cost, and that when it comes time to go across the road, that's all on his dime to get to the lines which are on the opposite side of the road.
So he's having a house and a little campground? Is that the gist of this whole
My
thing?
understanding
Or
is.
lots of company?
Yeah, well, yeah, my understanding is it could be, the campers could be Airbnb and or family are gonna be using them.
Yeah, I had sent you an email, like, is that zoning approved? Or
Yes.
do we just not pay attention to that and let
I mean,
the next level of approval go?
yeah, that'd be Jesse and his crew would be the ones that would have, you know, if there was an issue, I don't believe there is. I know between the two, the village and the town, Jesse is working on, because there has been other camper
Well, yeah, I mean, if we can have that.
requests out there, or folks that have just put them in, both in the village and the town. So they are looking at the ordinance and reviewing it, but this time it's, you know, it's been.
But that's not residential?
It is, yeah.
And they want to change it, or?
Change what?
Just the camper portion of it, they may look
Right.
at that. Or other dwellings on properties, essentially.
To the
Right.
back lawn?
Well, if somebody's staying in it.
And that is 2 lots. I mean, the mom, or
It is.
I think it's Jason's grandmother.
Right. I don't think
It is
it's,
2 lots, the house lot and then that.
I think he's working on splitting it into 2 lots. I don't think it is now.
Is he, okay, that's what he said.
Okay.
That's all right with me.
I'll second it. I think you should perhaps say I move.
I move that we accept.
I second that.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Don't have to
Oh, you?
agree, but I can accept.
Okay. We are at review and sign sub-grant agreement for 24 and 32 Main Street.
You can, on this, you can just approve, just, you know, give the authority for me to sign. I just know if you wanted to review it. We did have a meeting on Monday with the state. So I had a couple more questions answered, but I just didn't know if you folks wanted to review it, and then you can either have them sign it off on it tonight, and or just approve for me to sign off on it.
A lot of words.
Budget-wise, they're, you know,
Is their number pretty good?
I'm sorry.
Is their number pretty good?
We haven't got, as far as the houses.
Yeah.
We just ordered their appraisals, right? I just talked to the appraisers, I'm gonna come down to one and order the appraisals. So
How did they come up with the number for the grant?
That was just, it was an estimate just off, it was a quick market analysis, they had a Wheeler do a market analysis on it.
I was wondering how they did it. That's all.
So I was a little nervous, at first I didn't know what was gonna happen, but basically, this was an estimate. So if something comes back way out, they have estimated 10,000 to do this, and we find out it's 15,000, we just go back and they adjust the budget and they pay for it.
So pretty much no matter what,
No matter what,
it's getting covered.
it's
Okay.
getting covered.
Awesome, that's good.
Oh,
Because we do
Just
have-
authorize John to be able
Yeah.
to sign
And
this?
so just remind, is this one we pay, then they reimburse?
Yeah, so Lucky Abby has to follow, track it all. There'll be a lot of tracking, but yeah, we pay and they reimburse. The only thing they don't, they will pay up front is when we get to closing. They work with a lawyer, and on the day of closing, they'll cut the check right from the state to, as long as it'll give you a good amount. So they'll go right to the owner with it. So far, both owners are on board. I talked to both of them recently, and they're ready to go.
Probably happy to wash their hands.
Yeah. So,
I move we let John sign.
And I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay.
So if we keep the motions and the seconds in the same order, I'll be able to write it down better.
Yes, easier for
Yeah.
them. We're just
I appreciate the support over there.
We're on your side, John.
Well, kind of, he's on that side.
Well, no, it's a curve.
No, there you go.
No sides here.
What's next?
Little
Your
coleslaw.
turn. Manager
Oh, me?
report.
That's it. Go ahead.
We don't mess around, no boy.
No,
No.
Heather runs a tight ship.
Yep, let's go.
Just a quick update on the Elm Street sidewalk project. We've received the final permit from the state for us to allow us to work on the 105 portion of it. So we have that. They're finishing up the wetlands permit around Union Bank. So we're finishing that up. So everything's so far as a go, and we're still on track to have everything in place for work to be next summer. Any questions there? Bridge of Flower and Lights unfortunately was vandalized. I sent pictures out. I don't know if you get to check them out, Leonard. So we did have some spray paint unfortunately all over the bridge last Thursday, Friday I think we caught it. But we have identified who the folks are that did it, and we already have it all cleaned off. It's all been scrubbed off.
They're underage, right?
Yes, presumably.
Their parents liable for the money from the damage?
We have asked the sheriff, we're working with the sheriff's department. I guess that was one of the questions for you folks. Do you feel that we should go prosecute? Or my thought was no, we're just gonna get the bills together. So we do have them on video stealing from Ace Hardware. So Rick's just simply asked for his refund of what they stole, and we're asking for, we're gonna provide our bill.
Good.
And hopefully they get a
Hopefully.
good scare from the sheriff's department, like,
Yes.
don't do this again.
And
Supposedly
their
it's
parents may not appreciate having to pay the bills. Maybe they'll have a
A
chat.
little out of context for these folks, from my understanding, but I can't say 100%, but.
Are gonna cross the road from me first.
So that's where that's at, but it is all, we got it all scrubbed off.
It looks
Kennedy
nice.
crew went right at it.
That was a
That's
lot
the
of
time
work.
to do it, is if you catch it right off, because it'll come off a lot easier.
Yeah, they scrubbed for like literally almost 2 days to get it all off.
That was a lot for them to have to do with everything else they've got to do.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to stop it there in the middle of it and we'll get right on that, so we wouldn't have to, coming into foliage, kind of one of the last foliage weekends, and people,
Yeah.
we already had, unfortunately, when we were out there looking at it, we had like 2 or 3 tourists come through. So,
But it happens everywhere, so,
yeah, I don't
unless the
think,
people and the tourists live in a bubble and they've probably
Yeah.
seen it before.
Yeah, and it's good that we're taking
And
care
if
of
they
it.
went and used the porta potty on the park, they saw it.
Yeah.
yeah,
See that?
too.
I didn't see
The
it
porta potty got
Heard
the
that.
vandalism too.
Did it?
Lots
inside.
of large phalluses.
Oh. When's that,
Go ahead.
when's that leaving?
The end of the month.
Okay.
We take them out, usually in October.
Which is a couple days away, I just learned.
Yes.
Well, it's we're gonna keep them up through the trunk or treat.
Oh, awesome. That'll be nice.
Speaking of, are we doing something for that?
Abby, unless anybody else wants to jump in, Abby and Kevin will be there. with
I went
their
down last year and helped a little bit.
So you're more than
Helped me
welcome. I'm sure Abby would be more than happy to have you. But yeah, so anybody's interested, we will have the highway department pickup truck there
Cool.
with Abby and Kevin and her kids.
I'll have my own trunk. Excited. Hopefully I squeeze it off.
I went to a REV conference. REV is the renewable energy. So basically, just a quick update on that. I have another conference coming up this week. This one is more geared towards general village managers, admins type topics. One of the topics we'll get into here shortly, but at the REV conference, I learned a couple interesting things. Stowe is actually putting in a hydro, which we thought was totally impossible.
Wow.
So I'm gonna be talking to the Stowe manager, see what they got up their sleeve. But
You know
supposedly,
what they have up their sleeve? A lot of this.
Yeah,
yeah.
they have a lot of gilded sleeves.
Yeah. So, again, what REV is they're talking about what is renewable basically and what's coming down the pipe. Hydro-Quebec, is that considered renewable or not? I didn't realize Vermont's the only state, which I think we've been up in the air on this, but I didn't realize Vermont's the only New England state left that shows it as renewable. All the other states are saying it's renewable because of the damage they're saying that they've done to the indigenous tribes around that area. And they are also working on 2 lines. They're trying to get a main line from Hydro-Quebec through New York down to the New York City area. And then if you're not aware, they're also trying to run a line down Lake Champlain, down towards like Aston somewhere, and then across Vermont to Massachusetts.
To hell with Vermont, they'll take care of New York and Massachusetts.
Exactly. So, that's basically, I only went to one day of the conference, just to, there was a couple interesting things that day. Another day was not as interesting, so. That's all I had. Oh, I did have one other thing, just, I came in late breaking. The town did, so if you remember I spoke last time, I went to the town's meeting, and then Sam had shown up as well, just to, advise again that we would be interested in discussing the land swap. They have declined. They sent us a letter just saying that supposedly that part of our property is Class 1 wetland. If you'd like to read the letter, you're more welcome, but I'm just going to paraphrase it. So at this point, I guess the deal's done. We're not going to be looking to swapping at all. So.
Well, the part that we were gonna take and swap before too long is gonna be destroyed anyway, so nobody will have to worry about it. I was surprised it was there this morning.
The parking lot?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What
really?
do you,
Oh, last night was just absolutely horrendous.
was that what the noise was?
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't figure it out.
Just horrendous. I mean, you could literally hear that set of tires digging right into the dirt.
Yeah, I looked out
Oh,
the
really?
window thinking that like somebody was driving go-karts and behind my house or something.
Right in
They
the
were kind
parking
of
lot.
behind my house.
I was just praying one of them would miss and hit one of those Jersey barriers, but unfortunately they didn't,
Yeah, hopefully
because it wouldn't.
Hopefully
Maybe
it
next
would-
day.
to solve the problem and keep it open, because it obviously is an asset.
It's going to be a crying shame if it's not there.
Yeah. Again, every day I walked up to see Heather today at the supervisory union. I mean, this Main Street's busy during the day, and on the weekends it's been busy, so. So they declined, so.
When are we gonna have another joint meeting with them?
I don't know, I asked that question. I guess it's in theory their turn to host. We've got to start an agenda. The last time I talked with them, they had no intentions of having one, so.
Can we throw a couple of dates out there to them?
I mean, at this point, I don't know if we will by the end of the year with budget season and stuff. I mean, I can, but I don't think, if we don't have this to talk about, then we don't have, what else is there to discuss, I guess. We understand their stance on Bridge 50, so,
Yeah.
And I don't see any electronic sign.
yeah.
Anybody in the building?
I think there's definitely value to both of our boards having open conversation and,
It's unfortunately, I think a lot of times a one-sided conversation.
And you can't, it's kind of like you can't open a jar that's welded shut.
true, but just having the meetings, I think,
If they're willing to have one.
keeps trying to push that forward of
I suppose,
jointly governing.
I suppose we know it's their turn, but it could be our turn.
That's kind of what I'm saying, like, we throw a couple dates and say like, hey, we've
How
got
about
these
this?
available,
Yeah.
we would love to just talk about, the next year that you're coming, like.
Like, I'll email
The
them,
flies with
like,
honey thing.
that's all I had.
Awesome. Okay, now we're on to other business. Do we wanna get get Ken in here for that, and then we can,
I mean,
if
we
there's any
we
other
don't have to mess with that in
business?
open meeting, do we?
Yeah, no, we can,
Okay.
don't need to mess with that, it's just, we're just updating. The only thing I have that, I'm gonna put out there, and again, during this conference, I have an email request into Vermont League of Cities and Town. and I have this conference coming up this week. So I'm hoping to learn more. We've scoured the internet. Lori has, and I have, is the Child Care Act that was passed last year. So starting July 1st, 0.44% is going to be an income tax to support the Child Care Act. And so we're in budget season now, so there's some things we have to figure out, which we aren't finding any information on.
Makes it easy to figure it out.
One is you can pass along up to 0.11% of that 0.44 to the employee. So then in theory, any business would only be carrying 0.33% of that new, but we'll have to add that to the budget to a salary. So it's going to be 0.44 or 0.33, whatever is decided. And then, you know, we're also looking at some other things budget-wise. We're going to have to patch our payroll software so that that can catch it and deduct and do whatever it's got to do. So just give you a heads up, that might come around to our budget season. We're hoping to have an answer of kind of what this all looks like by then, but at this point, you go to Vermont.gov tax department and there's nothing. When you Google it, there's nothing other than the act when it was passed. So hopefully I find out more this week between BLTC and the conference. Just kind of throwing that out there as we get to budget season next couple of meetings.
Speaking of budgets, does anybody have any wish lists to add to Abby? Or not? No?
Mine is just as I crossed the road a number of times. Again, I know we made some decisions at the last meeting about just a couple of the lighted crosswalk signs. I still think we need them at every Main Street crosswalk.
I think last time we said budget for one and we'd
Yeah.
still be seeking grants.
And that, hopefully that will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we still have some things to go over as we get into budgets. Again, be thinking if you have any, you know, the mindset still is to work towards Main Street. You know, we've got, that's the other thing too, we did, it was about 800,000. So the question last week was, our last meeting was, what it would cost to replace the water lines that probably should be done before we pave Pleasant Street.
Yeah.
The south part or lower part, whatever you want to call it. And about $800,000 to replace just the water lines that need to be replaced on Pleasant Street before we go and pave it.
Well, it still makes more sense to do it before you pave it.
Yeah.
What did West Berkshire Road cost?
130.
Why so different?
I don't know, I gotta ask Wayne that question. I don't know.
Because that seems like a lot longer stretch. I mean, maybe it's a smaller pipe or something, but I don't.
That was 900 feet. I don't know what this footage, I haven't.
I don't know about the footage, but I meant like diameter. Maybe it's because it's
Yeah,
the
that was
size
only
of the
2
pipe.
inch.
Right. So I mean,
This would
maybe
be 8 inch.
maybe 8-inch pipe is crazy expensive. But
It is, yeah. I don't know if
Shortage.
it's- I don't know if it's $600,000.
right. It just seems like it's a shorter run and it's.
Well,
a lot
that
more
too,
money.
I mean, I think also here you're dealing with a lot more pavement concrete. There, we were all on the roadside.
Right. I
The
guess.
ditch. We didn't even cross the road.
But I mean, if he's figuring in the cost of the pavement too or something, but we're already going to be doing that.
Well, they, again, in those projects, they pay to fix, not to repave. But there'd be some
Right. But if he
paving.
figured in fixing the road
Right.
that we don't have to
I
fix
guess our
because we're
skim
already.
coat or whatever would be pretty much done, like Maple Park are doing.
Right.
So they're gonna come back and fix it, so next year when we go back and pave it, kind of skim coat's gonna be done because of the work this.
Right.
And the update on that too is gonna be another, hopefully the first week in November they'll start Maple Park.
Not soon.
Yes. Yeah.
That's all I got.
I two things. One is just a reminder that tomorrow is the open house for the Pearly building. Ideally,
That
like,
was the 13th.
That's what, we got that message too, because Abby and I already got it.
Yeah, it was gonna be the 13th of October, but then they moved it, and it's tomorrow.
Oh, I didn't know they moved
And
it.
it's,
3:30 to 6 at the ESU.
yeah.
Yeah, there'll be goodie bags for the person who.
Is it just for the supervisory union?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the supervisory union
Oh, I thought it was like
space.
the whole, was the 13th supposed to be the whole building?
The retails were really not notified.
Oh,
Well, we thought the same thing, and Abby went up. and-
I just erased it off my
Yeah.
Kindle tonight because I was like, oh, I missed that.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the arrangement was, but there's a flyer.
I thought it was supposed to be like, see the whole thing, see the whole project.
Yeah, that's what I had originally heard too, but.
You can come and
I
see
was
Brenda's later.
not in
She's
any of
gonna
that,
have her own
that,
Nice.
any of the planning of that. But I know the SU has been trying to incorporate the businesses in the building, the open house as best they can. So there's that tomorrow if anybody wants to pop in, see my lovely office. And November 1st, is that when we're having the informational?
Yeah.
Yep.
And 7 o'clock. And is it just Zoom or Zoom or virtual and online?
Yeah, physical, and we'll be set up to have it online and physical, and then the 8th.
And up there, right?
8th is
It's at the EMS building, right?
And at the EMS building, yeah.
Up
There's
there
a
is close
possibility I
enough.
won't be there. I have another board meeting that starts at 6 that I have to attend. But I'll scoot up after.
7 or 6:30.
As long as
It's
my
a
wife
tiny
isn't
bit.
having her baby, we'll be all set.
Yeah. I'll for both out. We'd still have a quorum.
That's at the
Something to vote
emergency
on.
building?
No. Just need physical bodies.
Yeah. At least I know my calendar-ish. It's just November 1st is a lot sooner.
Well, it happens sometimes.
I've been doing a lot of federal reports, and so my mind is just like purely on the reporting right
Well,
now.
if they're federal reports, you're in a boondoggle anyway, so it's okay that you don't know what's
Their
going on around
software,
you.
I don't know how their software is. I do the fire reports for FEMA, and man, that system is terrible.
It's not so much the actual reporting system, it's the reports themselves, but don't need to get into that right now. Okay, so John, were you just verifying the time?
No, it's, I'm doing that, but,
Are we supposed to be able to read this?
no. Well, you don't need to, you can read it, but it's.
Well, I just meant I can't.
Oh, you can't.
That's why I was asking, are we supposed to be able to?
No.
That's not in the scope of my vision. And no, I don't drive at night, I only drive through water and white land.
If you do drive at night, it might make it more fun.
Yeah, well, I think I was about 23 when they said don't do that anymore.
I know I shouldn't drive at night when it's raining.
Well, you're right, it's 7 o'clock, yes. Or no, wait, hold on.
Oh, gosh.
That's cool.
Okay, anything else for other business? Nope. Okay.
You good?
John,
I'm
what
good.
order do we wanna, do we go into the, can we
Right.
do the IT thing and then go into executive? I don't think we need a formal motion
I would just motion to close.
from anything in executive.
Yeah, I would
right,
just
so-
close out the meeting and then we'll do the IT stuff.
Well,
Okay,
she's got that thing she wanted to do.
We have the use council thing.
Yeah.
Right, in executive.
yep, so I'll make a motion to go into executive for the purposes of,
Other business that can't be disclosed to the public this time.
other business which can't be disclosed to the public at this time.
I'll move.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those say nay.